Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at changing standard form back to ordinary numbers. Last week we looked at changing ordinary numbers back to standard form. It's definitely a topic that you're going to need for your GCSEs. It normally comes up in the first page or the second page of a GCSE paper, and the marks are normally 1 mark or 2 marks, so it could be a difference between a grade. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot if you find this video useful. And please hit the like button and the bell notification as well, so that you are notified whenever I release a new video. So as I said, as I was saying before, this is something that you can definitely do. If you are not feeling too confident, just look at the question, take it step by step. Think about the facts that you already know. For example, 100 is 10 squared, 10 is 10 to the power of 1, and then you're working your way backwards that way, just to build your confidence. So you've got this. With that said, let's get to it. So we've got some questions here. If you're asked to change 1 multiplied by 10 squared to standard form, you know that 10 squared is 100. Okay, from the previous video. So 1 multiplied by 10 squared is 100. So 3 multiplied by 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000. If you're not sure, just write 1 and 4 zeros. Okay, multiply that by 3, which is 30,000. So for this third one, so some people do get into difficulties when it runs into a decimal. Start with the unit number 5. So 10 to the power of 5 is 100,000. So again, just check your zeros. You've got 5 zeros there in after the 1. Multiply by 5. Okay, so I'm just ignoring the 0.2 for the moment, just to check that my place value is going to be correct. 5 multiplied by 100,000 is going to be 500,000. And now I'm going to take the 0.2 into account. So my place value is still going to be the same. So my number is still going to be 500,000. I'm just going to leave some space for the 0.2. So the 2 is next to the 5. So it needs to be next to the 5 here. And I'm missing a 0. So it's 520,000 is the answer to this question here. Okay, so now we've got some more questions. 6.99 multiplied by 10 to the power of 6. So 10 to the power of 6 is 1 million. So start with that. Then look at the 6. So this is 6 times 1 million, which is 6 million. Okay, so 6.99, again, my place value doesn't change. It's still going to be 6 million. I'm going to put the 99 next to the 6 and then carry on with my 0. So I should still have 7 digits when I'm done. So it's 6,990,000. Second question, 3.085 multiplied by 10 cubed. 10 cubed is 1,000. So you are multiplying that by 3 to begin with, which is 3,000. And then I'm going to look at the digits after the 3 in the question. So again, I should end up with 4 digits in my final answer. So it will be 3,085. The next question is 0.9 multiplied by 10 squared. 10 squared is 100. So I am multiplying 0.9 by 100. So if you're not sure how to do this in one step, you could start with 0.9 multiplied by 10, which is 9, and then multiply your answer by 10 again, because when you multiply by 10 twice, it's the same as multiplying by 100. So my final answer will be 90. Okay, here are some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, 5.9 multiplied by 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000. So I know this would be 50,000. So that 9 is going to go there. So 59,000. The second one is 3.55 multiplied by 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 6 is 1 million. So I know this is going to be 3 million. So I'm just going to leave some spaces for my digits. So I've got 5 and 5 after the 3. So I'm going to put them after the 3 here. I'm missing a 0 there. So it's 3,550,000. And then the last one, 0.9 multiplied by 1,000. So because 10 cubed is 1,000, so you can multiply 0.9 by 10 3 times. Multiply it once more. So it's 900. So now we've got the other standard form numbers that when you change them back to ordinary numbers, you're going to end up with decimals because these are negative powers of 10. So as I said before, start with what you know. I know that 10 squared is 100 and 10 to the power of 1 is 10. So if 10 squared is 100, I'm just going to write it underneath here. 10 squared is 100. So 10 to the power of minus 2 will be 1 over 100 or 0.01. 10 to the power of 1 is 10. So 10 to the power of minus 1 will be 1 over 10 or 0.1. So these facts you absolutely need to know, okay, so that when you're unsure, you can recall those facts quite easily. So going back to the original question, 10 to the power of minus 1 is 0.1 or 1 over 10. So this is 3.5 multiplied by 1 over 10, which is 3.5 over 10. So I can change this to, I can get rid of the 3.5, the decimal element, by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by 10. So this is 35 out of 100, which is 0.35. Okay, the second one, 10 to the power of minus 2, as I said earlier, is 1 over 100. So this is 7.99 multiplied by 1 over 100. So 7.99 over 100. Change the decimal element by multiplying by 100. If I multiply 7.99 by 10, I will still have a decimal of 79.9. So I need to multiply it by 10 again. So to get rid of the decimal in the numerator, multiply 100 by 100. Okay, and then this is a method that we were using in primary as well. So you can do the hoop method to get this back to, so to get the zeros back to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 hoops. So I need to do 4 hoops in the numerator as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know there's going to be a 0 in front of the 799 before I put my decimal point and a 0. Okay, so I'm going to do a similar thing in the third question. So 10 to the power of minus 5 is 1 over 100,000. So 5.689 divided by 100,000. Get rid of the decimal element in the numerator by multiplying it by 1,000. So if I multiply this by 1,000, it will be 5,689. And don't forget to do the same for the denominator. So I need to multiply 100,000 by 1,000. So I've got 100,000. Then multiply it by 1,000 again. Okay, so then I want to get this, so this number in the denominator is 100 million. I want to get it back to 1. So let me just write the fraction out again here, so I've got a bit more space. Okay, so to get this to 1, it's going to involve 8 hoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 hoops. So I need to do 8 hoops in the numerator as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I'm going to need 4 zeros in front of the 5 before the decimal point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decimal point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and then my decimal point. Okay, so there's a few more steps involved in the standard form with negative power of 10, but it just needs a little more practice on your part and you'll definitely get it. Here are some examples for you to try. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 4. 10 to the power of minus 4 is 1 over 10,000. So this is 3.5 divided by 10,000. So I need to get rid of the decimal element first of all by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by 10. So that would be 35. I'm going to write 10,000, multiply it by 10. So I need 5 hoops to get this denominator to 1, 4, 5. So I'm going to need 5 hoops from the 35. So 1, 2. So that means I've got 3 zeros in front of the 35. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there are my 5 hoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your decimal point and your 0. Okay, second one, 10 to the power of minus 1 is 1 over 10. So this is 5.99 over 10. So to get rid of the decimal element, I'm multiplying by 100. So 599 multiply 10 by 100 is 1000. So I need 3 hoops to get this to 1. So I need 3 hoops to get this to a decimal. So 0.599. So these are my 3 hoops. Okay. And then the last one, 10 to the power of minus 5 is 1 over 100,000. So this would be 6.834. Over 100,000. So again, get rid of the decimal element of your numerator by multiplying by 1,000. So I would need to multiply 100,000 by 1,000 again. So multiply that by 1,000 is 6,834. I've got 100,000. Multiply it by 1,000. Okay, so I will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hoops, okay, to get this to 1. So my numerator, I'm going to do it under here. So I've already got 4 digits, so I'm going to need another 4 to complete the 8 hoops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 3, 4, then your decimal point, then the 0 in front. Okay, well done.